Hi guys, welcome to Pass the Stick.
Pass the sticks. Okay, so, anyways, hi guys. I don't know what this is gonna be on, but what's up? Okay, so my name is Jovan, and I have.
I'm Michelle.
Oh shit! You ain't gotta be so close. You
Sorry.
good? You'll pick it up. So we just watched Black Mirror.
The first episode.
Yes, the first episode, season 4. And we decided we wanted to share our thoughts because we've been waiting for this for a while. And this shit was crazy. It was nuts. So it starts off with like this old school 60s Star Trek like set. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? Basically you have this fat Matt Damon right here on the chair.
And then you got the dude that I'm pretty sure plays William on Westworld.
Yeah, the dude. I'll point to him on the thing, but yes, that guy. And
then you recognize somebody else I thought.
Oh yeah, the black chick on the left. She's from Chewing Gum, which is a dope ass Netflix show.
But anyway, the fat Matt Damon, I'm pretty sure he played Landry on Friday Night Lights, if any of you watched that.
Or he was the bully on Like Mike, so this motherfucker. But yeah, so it opens with just like an episode of Star Trek. So I'm like, okay, interesting. What's going on here? And then you find that this guy in the middle, like he's a captain there, but then he goes to work and he's not shit. Like he is very passive.
Nobody really respects him or pays attention to him.
Yeah, no one respects him. And he's walking to work and then they just looking at him. And then he has an office which is close to the bathroom, I think. That's what he says. Like everyone mistakes it as the bathroom. How? Because it has his name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it has his name on it so people can't read, I guess. So pretty much he created this like virtual reality game. What was it called? Infinity, yeah. He created this thing called Infinity. So he's very smart and like I said, he's the creator. But he's like a bitch pretty much.
He got like bought out or whatever, like pretty much everybody else. Like
that's what you think.
Well, they kind of what's the word? They act like he's not the boss, I guess, or like not the creator and whatnot. And it's just kind of like he's just another coworker. Right.
Yeah. He's a coworker that has his own office, pretty much. But they have this guy what's his name?
I don't remember what their names are.
Okay, the tall dude behind him. He's pretty much like the CEO, I think. No, not the CEO. He's a guy with power. He's pretty much telling him what to do. Like, okay, we have to have this patch or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
they want it like sooner.
Yeah, they want it soon. And pretty much he tells the guy, the Indian guy over there, I can't remember his name, to do the patch and whatever. So he sees this new girl, which is the chick on his left, to our right, to his left. He sees that girl and she thinks she's bad, right? And so they pretty much get to talking and she's amazed by this guy. Like, oh man, you're the guy who created Infinity, like you're amazing. And then they start talking about the Star Trek thing. What was it called? I can't remember, but it
was basically supposed to be Star Trek.
It was Star Trek, like you can tell by the costumes and stuff. So they were talking about that, how he is a big fan of that. So she's amazed by him and
his coding. She's amazed by his coding.
His coding, that's what I meant. Like she doesn't like him, but she respects him and it's like her idol. So yeah, and then what happened after that?
So then she gets to talking with the other woman. I don't remember what her position is or what her name is. I apologize. But so basically the other woman asked her, like, do you like him or whatnot? And she says, oh, no, I just like his work. I'm not interested in him like that. and he overhears that, and I guess that kind of like pisses him off.
He gets salty, like, dude, like, it's not that serious. This guy gets no pussy, I guess. So, yeah, he gets mad. And then,
or he figures, like, well, if I can't get her in real life, I can get her in
which
whatever.
leads into the next thing, which makes this episode fucked up. So, pretty much, they were all leaving, and he goes into the trash can. So, he asked her to make a coffee. She was drinking out the coffee doing work. So then at night, he was leaving. Everyone else left. He went to the trash can and grabbed her coffee. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, is he weird? And he goes home and he takes a swab and then swabs the lid and put it in this machine, which pretty much uploads that person's DNA into his version of
the game, which is different from the one that everyone else is like.
Right. Yeah. Everyone else has their Infinity. It's an actual game, but he has his Star Trek skin over his version that he has at home, and he, like I said, uploads DNA. So all these guys over here, they're uploaded into the game for whatever reason.
Whether they pissed him off or whatnot, that's what it sounded like for the most part. If they like pissed him off, then he would put them in there.
You don't know that until the end.
Sorry.
See, look at you. It's okay, whatever. So pretty much, she gets uploaded, and she wakes up in the Infinity game, and she's like, "What the fuck is going on?" Right? So she's going through the hallways and sees the whole crew, and she's like, "What?" And they pretty much explain to her that she's uploaded in this game. We've all been here for a long time, and we can't leave. And she's like, what? Like, am I dreaming? She doesn't believe it. But they all can't get out. So they're stuck here. And while they're in the game, this guy in the middle, Fat Matt Damon, he's actually in real life, living life. Actually, they all are. They just pretty much have a copy who has its own consciousness and everything. So it's like...
He's the only one that's like actually playing while still in the real world.
Yeah, he's the game master. So it's like those are all his Sims. It's like Sims, but you interact with them. So they don't have anything to do with the game. He's the one controlling everything. And if they try to escape or anything, then he pretty much has the power of God. Like, he can do anything. So pretty much when he comes back into the game, he's like... They all get in position, and she's like, what's going on? He's like, get our ship ready. We got to attack, but the bad guy.
And she says no.
Who's Khan, pretty much, from Star Trek. Yeah, and she says no. And then they're like, just do what he says. And she's like, no, I'm not doing this, whatever, right? So what happened was she closed her face. So, like... It was just nothing there. It was just her skin, and he was pretty much suffocating her.
So and she couldn't see and she couldn't breathe, but she also couldn't die.
Yeah. So she was being tortured forever. He's like, I can keep this up forever. Are you going to comply? Right? And so she finally does. And then they actually go into a planet, and they're fighting one of the bad guys, a.k.a. Khan, and this monster thing. And they're like... She talks to the black dude on the right and was like, yo, give me the gun. It's pretty much to try to shoot the dude. And he's like, no. And then she asked him again. He's like, no, our guns aren't even loaded. And he's like, God, like, so we can't kill him. She's like, okay, what? And so when they see the monster and the bad guy, they're just playing the role like they're actually in the 1960s Star Trek TV show.
Yeah, so he's pretty much the only person that can save the day. The rest of them just, like, do what he says and...
Right. So, pretty much at that point, there's... The doorbell rings in real life, so he has a pizza. So pretty much, he just pauses the game, leaves, and they just stand there. And you find out that one of the monsters was one of their friends that they knew. And what the dude did was turn her into the monster because...
She pissed him off in the game.
Yeah, she pissed him off in the game. So he's like, fuck you, turn into a monster. And they're all cool with each other, but they just have to act like they're in the show, pretty much. just to please the dude. Then what happened after that?
That's when she like wants to make a plan to get out and like contact. First, they try to like contact herself like outside of the game with that little invitation to play, and she had like 180 characters or whatever.
Yeah.
To talk to herself, but her real life self didn't accept the invite, so they had to come up with a different strategy. Well, she decided to come up with a different strategy to help them get out of the game, and she knew that the patch was coming, and that it was like a wormhole.
Right.
And so after talking to them about it, they were like, well, we won't like make it out, we'll just die. But if they do that, then they won't have to like be under his control anymore, and they can just be like their real life selves, because they're under the impression that they will like die in the game, right. And that's it, and they won't have to be under his control anymore.
Right. Yeah, but you can't leave. He has your DNA because he's a fucking weirdo. So she gets contacted, and she shows the guy in real life, Fat Matt Damon, is like, did you send me a request? And he's like, no. Like, what's going on?
And he tells her it's just spam or whatever.
Yep.
And she shouldn't worry about it.
Yep. And pretty much he goes, like, while he's at work, he goes into the game. It's like, yo, what the fuck are y'all doing, right? And then the girl was like, it was me. They had nothing to do with it, whatever, right? And so he's getting ready to, like,
do the
suffocate her
the suffocating
again, right?
thing again.
The black chick goes in front of her, was like, she's new, she didn't know what she was doing, spare her. He's like, alright, then turn the bitch into the monster. Like, yo, it was disgusting. And turned her into the monster, and then was like, put her to the nearest planet. I'm like, he's an asshole. Like, he really it ain't shit in real life, and he takes it out on the characters. So it's like, it's crazy. But
yeah, there was an earlier scene where like the guy in the back, I'm just gonna call him Westworld dude, I guess like pissed him off in the real world, so then he came back and like choked the crap out of him in the game world because he couldn't take it out. He's too passive to take it out on him in real life, so he came back in the game and took it out on him in the game. Fat Matt Damon took it out on Westworld man.
Yeah, so what part are we at? She turns the girl into the alien.
So that's when the main chick decides to go through with her other plan where they launch them into the wormhole.
Yeah, so she's like, yo, I got a plan. Let's go into the wormhole and maybe we can get out. And they're like, it's impossible. We can't control the ship without the dude being here. And they have a plan to pretty much get him to be in the game, distract him, so they can go into the wormhole. And then in real life, so they pretty much, she was like, yo, I have pictures on my phone that will make me, that I didn't send to anyone.
That she doesn't want to get out.
That she doesn't want to get out. So they make a plan. They actually call her in real life.
Well, they messaged her first and they showed that they had those pictures. And then they were like, this isn't your ex or whoever it was. And they called her. And then they were like, you need to do what we say, otherwise these pictures get out.
Yeah. So she's pretty much Assassin's Creed, Ezio, like climbing up buildings and shit. Like, how'd she get up there? She climbs up
Magic.
Like, how many stories was that? That had to have been like 10 plus. It had to have been. So she is fucking Spider-Man climbing up the building, doing some Mission Impossible shit, and pretty much steals all their like DNA. Well, like they all had stuff that had their DNA on. So
and he kept it in a mini fridge. So
oh yeah, well, okay, so the dude
Westworld dude.
She pretty much, because when the girl tells him, "Look, I got a plan," he pretty much like, fuck that. Like, he brought my son into the game.
And made me watch him die.
Yes. And he killed him and made me watch. He like sent him to the vacuum of space. And yo, that was low-key sad. Like, he does not give a fuck. He just wants to, he's a bitch. Anyways, So the dude's like, I don't want that to happen. She's like, well, I'll make it so he never comes here. Like,
so that's why she decided to make her real life self take the DNA out of his fridge.
So, like I said, he keeps all their DNA in a mini fridge next to his computer. So she breaks in, steals all of the shit while he's in pause mode getting a pizza, steals all his stuff, and then while she's doing that in real life, her video game person, she was actually distracting the video game, like
Fat Matt Damon
in the video game. It was like, yo, come swim in here, like you might get some put afterwards type of
even
vibe.
Though she doesn't have.
Even though they're all like Barbie and Ken, they don't have any dicks or nothing, like, so they can't even jack off in the back room or anything. Like,
can't do anything.
They can't do anything. No, they can't get a magazine or some space pussy.
So they drink. That's about all they do.
Oh yeah, they can drink and sit there. Like, that would be boring as fuck.
Yeah.
If you couldn't do anything.
Especially because after a while you wouldn't have anything to talk about.
Right. There's no TV. Like, you can't watch your Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, no World Star, no YouTube, no PewDiePie.
No, nothing.
Nothing. So they just sit there. But they know about their real lives. Like, it's crazy. But anyway, so yeah. So she distracting Fat Matt Damon, and they pretty much steal his like communications override,
his like control whatever
device to control the ship while they're in the water. Fucking, I'm just playing.
She's enticing him.
Yeah. So then after that, while he paused, I'm fucking up. Like, I can never remember anything. My mind is like derailed. So while in real life, while he was getting the pizza, they
swapped out his.
They swapped out his communication thing, or stole it, and then beamed her up back to the ship. And they were like, okay, well, there's this wormhole's about to close quick. We got to go through this asteroid field. They're like, if we fuck up, like, we're just going to be in a vacuum of space, just floating until he brings us back. And the dude goes back from pause mode. He resumes the game, and he's like, yo, what's going on?
He sees that she's not around anymore. His ship is not responding to him.
Yeah.
And so he knows that something's up.
Right. So he's like, yo, where's everyone at? And he pretty much contacts his ship, and they didn't even say anything, did they?
No, I don't think they
didn't say anything. So there was a ship that was actually crash landed. He fixed the ship, I guess, right?
I'm pretty sure he can just use whatever he wants, so he just like...
But what doesn't make sense, so he couldn't have beamed himself back up to the ship?
No, because he didn't have that device anymore.
That's the only device that can
I'm sure that's the way he like made it work in that world, because he assumed that he would be the only person that would ever have it. So he just kind of figured, like, I'm the only person that's going to be holding on to this.
So he made himself godlike. That doesn't make sense.
He programmed it so that the only way he could get beamed up is with that, because he thought he'd be the only person holding on to it.
Okay, I guess.
That's what I would assume anyway.
That makes more sense than him not being able to beam himself up. Like, whatever. So he's chasing them. He's like, yo, what are you guys doing? When I catch you, I'm going to torture you.
I'm going to fuck you all up.
I'm going to fuck you all up. I'm going to torture you like you've never been tortured before. And so it's like, I'm sitting in the chair. I'm like, damn, what's going to happen? Because Black Mirror, like, all the episodes...
They're notorious for having, like, really fucked up endings.
Right. Like, there's no happy ending. Except for in, like...
San Junipero. That was, like, the one
San
happy...
Junipero. Yeah. Where they died, but they were in, like, eternal heaven. Wherever they wanted to be at, they could be at. So yeah. So I'm like, they're not going to make it.
We're arguing. I thought they were going to make it, but wherever they end up is going to be more fucked up. And he thought, no, there's no way they're going to make it because this is Black Mirror.
Right. It's Black Mirror. I knew some fucked up shit was going to happen, right? So what I actually thought was, like, the real life people was going to, like, get sucked in somehow. Like, I don't know. Like, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if I'm on some shit, but I was thinking something like that. Like, they're not going to make it, or they're going to be locked in there forever.
My thought process was they would make it through the wormhole, but wherever they ended up was, like, in some way worse than wherever they were before. Like, maybe it was just, like, eternal darkness, or it was somebody else's world, and now somebody else had control over all of them. I thought, like, wherever they were ending up was just going to be worse, and they wouldn't actually die.
Yeah. So, pretty much, they make it through the wormhole. No. So, what happened was, they hit an asteroid, and their blasters are, like, off. So, they're like, oh, shit.
They can't go anywhere.
So, I'm
they
thinking,
can't
I'm like,
anything.
I knew it. I knew they wasn't going to escape. So, Mr. Westworld, no, she's like,
The main chick.
The main chick. No, one of the crew members was like, you can maybe turn the blasters on, but
you'd have to do it manually, and you're going to be, like, burning forever.
Yeah, you're going to burn forever. And so she's like, damn. So she's like, you think she's going to sacrifice herself, but Westworld was like, fuck that. So he ran towards it. They're like, you're going to die, or you're going to burn forever. But he's like, I'm not letting my son come back. Like, right. I can't go through this again. And so he radios Fat Matt Damon and was like, man, I want to tell you sorry for being an asshole, because he was kind of an asshole to him, low-key, in real world.
Like at work and stuff.
Like at work. Like, I'm above you. Like, I'm the man. I make the choices. Like, you not shit, pretty much. So he's pretty much like, I'm sorry for treating you that way. And then Fat Matt Damon is like, man, he's just thinking about stuff. It looks like he's going to cry or something, like, feel
It looks like it actually is, like, affecting him, like, his
like
apology.
It's affecting him. And then he said, but you killed my son, so fuck you. Pretty much, like,
which is very fitting.
Right. So after he said that, he turns the blaster on. He burns alive. They have enough juice to, like, go into the wormhole before it closed. So they got through. And then the dude's, like, screaming and stuff. So they wake back up, and they go from 1960s Star Trek to, like, Michael Bay Star Trek.
To, like, present day or
whoever,
futuristic,
J.J.
whatever.
Abrams,
yeah.
Whoever makes that Star Trek, right? So they wake up, and they even have the lens flare. I'm like, yo, this is just like the movie. Like, they had the lens flare and everything. It was pretty dope. And pretty much...
They're like, we're not dead.
Yeah,
we're still
like,
here.
the people that were turned into monsters and stuff, like, they came back.
So, like, the jock dude came back, and...
Who the jock dude, like, he tripped on his back in the beginning of the movie. He was like, oh, sorry. But he had all that space to move his bag over, so he knew he was going to trip over it, I guess. So he's kind of an asshole, but not really.
Matt Damon turned him into the villain.
And Matt Damon turned him to the villain.
So he came back when they got into this other realm, and they realized they're pretty much on the cloud, I guess. Well, so that's why they're not dead.
He came back. The black chick came back. But
Westworld dude did not.
Westworld didn't. And so
Jovan caught that. I did not.
I didn't know. You think all white guys look alike or something?
No.
That's fucked up.
They only showed the jock dude for like 2 seconds.
Tolerate.
But anyways, so Westworld dude, we don't know what happened to him. We don't know if he's still stuck in the old Star Trek world.
Yeah, like, did they explain it and we missed it?
They just didn't show what happened to him.
They didn't show, yeah.
So I guess that's up to us to speculate.
And we knew, like, so it would make sense if the people that were on the ship that escaped were the only ones that actually escaped.
But if he was going to burn forever.
The jock dude came back, you know what I mean? So, like, what happened to
So did they beam them up?
Dude? Or did he, like, after they went through the wormhole, he's just out the game now?
That's what we don't know.
But they don't say it.
Right.
I don't think they do. And they don't even ask. They're not like,
where did so-and-so go?
Where did so-and-so go? Like,
they just kind of, like, are like, okay, well, we're still alive. We can do whatever we want. Now let's just, like, do this shit.
Right. And then, so they make the chick the captain, and, you know, she's all excited. And so what happened to Fat Matt Damon is he got locked into, like, he's like in eternal darkness. He's in this ship, and he's in eternal darkness.
And he can't exit out of the game anymore. He has no controls.
Yeah, he can't exit out the game. So his real life self is just like a vegetable.
Yeah.
Like drooling and shit. Like at the computer. Like, we assume that he's gonna die unless somebody
gets to him, but it's doubtful.
Yeah. So, like, he's just a vegetable, and then his video game self is just stuck in there in eternal darkness. Like, damn. Like, he can't die.
He can't do anything.
Like, he's just stuck in there. I'm like, damn. So, yeah. And then back to these other guys. They are on a ship, and then there's another ship comes, but it's another player. So they're actually on the servers now. Mm-hmm. Like, they were in the cloud. Now they're in the video game servers, not the private one. And they pretty much are going to have an adventure. Like, it's real Star Trek. Like, type of stuff, but that's how it ended.
The thing that I wanted to say about this episode is it reminded me a lot of White Christmas, where they like make the copy of the person and they stick them somewhere and make them do what they want. So it made me think of that a lot. I, for the most part, liked this episode, but it wasn't as fucked up as I thought it was going to be, or like depressing. It was still, they had like, they're definitely like fucked up moments and depressing moments, but it wasn't as like heavy as some of the past Black Mirror episodes.
Yeah, I think like, because that's not the real self, which doesn't really hit hard.
Yeah.
But
like, you still feel for the dude and his kid, and like, you don't want the people to like be turned into monsters or go through anything bad, but
because there's like, they have feelings for real. Like, you have your own feelings, and you don't know that you're in the video game, but that conscious of you is in the video game.
That's the whole like debate that White Christmas brought up, is like, is what's happening to them technically wrong because it's not a real person, it's a copy of their consciousness.
They're a copy, but your actual, it's just like you yourself is listening to this video, and like, that's you, and then you have your video game character, like you playing The Sims or something, and like, that person is your self just in the game. And let's say they die or get tortured or something like that. That'll be like you getting tortured in real life, but it's not you. It's some like trippy shit. Like, like, you gotta be on LSD.
Like, you feel for them anyway, even though it's not their real selves.
Even though it's not their real self. So I guess the stakes weren't as high. Because, like, at least in White Christmas, like, that flashback was that part of White Christmas, but it wasn't the full theme. Like, it was kind of the overlying theme, but that was just a part in the story. Like,
there was still a lot of other stuff that they touched on.
That person is actually in there. Like, they're in there. In the globe. Like, they're in the globe. So, like, that's you, yourself, not a copy of you. And you're stuck there, and you have no sense of time. The guy's like, oh, you finally talked to me for like 5 years. And anyways, let's not talk about that. But
separate episode.
Right. So yeah, like, I liked the episode. It was a good introduction. It was different, you know, even though they used some of the White Christmas stuff, but it was different because it was like you're back in 1960 Star Trek. But I'm just excited.
Yeah, it makes me excited for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I want to see what they're gonna do.
Me too.
They say this is supposed to be the darkest season. So.
And I'm ready, because there are some intense episodes in previous seasons. Yeah. So if they can top that, I will be impressed.
Yeah, they're gonna have to kill some babies or something.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Like, that's the only way I could see it. But anyways, thank you for listening to episode 1 of our Black Mirror review. Yes, / reaction. And I know we were a little bit late, like we're a week late, but this is the only time we could really start watching it. But
it's my fault.
Yeah, it is her fault. Blame it on her. So if you want to see the next video or want more videos from us, just hit a like, subscribe, comment, all that. And we'll see you in the next
Comment
episode.
What your favorite Black Mirror episode is.
Oh, yeah. All 5 of you.
All like 2 of you that are watching.
Right. Peace.